Aloha. I wanted to make just a quick video, a follow up, and expansion off of the last video, and kind of tie it into all of the storylines that are running simultaneously. Well, not all of them, obviously. I can only speak on what I'm aware of from this perspective, but the way the design, the compartmentalization of your focus is the design itself. So the narrowing down to one version of your reality, like, I don't know, people who, for example, some people who are still believing only in politics as their life, like they will live and die as a Republican. They will live and die as a Democrat. That is an entire soul that has adopted a reality that has been fabricated for the enslavement of not only that individual, but their generations after that. Their children are now trying to decide whether or not they will be Republicans or Democrats, whether they will be just like their parents or they will be different, they will think differently, or just throw the whole shit away, whatever it is. The main construct, the infrastructure of the design of the compartmentalization, the limitation program through indoctrination is to at least have that seed planted in that next generation. And the way that seed gets fertilized or watered and continues to grow is with the distraction of the world around that seed. So the parents are an indoctrination and limitation plant bed for the next generation of enslavement. And the school system, the university system, the TV, the social media, your peer groups who are doing the same thing, these are all part of the growing of that Monsanto seed, that seed that will not produce seeds. It'll only produce itself and die. So the microcosm of the macrocosm that is the genetically modified food industry is how the seeds that get planted in our heads are like little bombs. They're little, the mainstream media plants dead seeds in your reality so that you will live a dead life and produce dead seeds that will produce more dead seeds. So this is the Monsanto reality, and how and the compartmentalization of each different program that we subscribe to is the design, the genetically modified design, the enslavement program. So one facet is like the politics, another facet is the American dream, another style is like the new age community, another style is purely racism, just like just from whatever, it's just like all about like the KKK. It's just like we're the chosen people and that's it. Why? Because God said so. You will have little baby KKKs born and that will die. There's a little baby member with a hood. There's probably some grandma sewing some kind of baby hood, some little toddler hood, KKK hood, for their brand new grandkid to wear on special occasions. Like, this is still existing right now. The only way you can act like it doesn't exist is to be consumed by the section of life that you have chosen, the compartmentalization program. And in reference to the last video, the new age, this is the essence of the new age. There's nothing new to the spirit. There's no, truth is not new. Disclosure is new, because disclosure is about, so-called disclosure is about giving, is about the power, the so-called powers that be, maintaining the power by providing you with the information that they have made your mouth water for throughout the limitation program itself. So your dead seeds have been soaking for water for so long through the secrecy program, through the ignorance program of the school system, through the limitations of the destructive intelligence program. And this conspiracy theories world is another facet of this compartmentalization, because it's you can stretch all of these out to understand what they really boil down to. Like, you have conspiracy theorists, a lot of it, like when I first went into it, a lot of it's heavy duty. Like, you listen to the music, it's all this like dark, deep, the alien reptilians are gonna, it's all based on fearing the shit, is like scaring the shit out of you so you can understand what they're trying to tell you. If you need to be convinced of anything, then that's an automatic trigger to know that there's something more. So like when I presented questions to a channeler named Bashar about what was I asking about? I asked all kinds of questions. This was some years ago, about 3 years ago. There's some, like, there's videos, like I did a video on that where Bashar was presented with a flat earth question. And he just completely shuts down. It's, oh, don't go. It's kind of like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh, don't go there. Come on. Like, what are you a silly person? Get out of here. It's this whole mentality to defend its own existence. So that's when I was like, oh, there's something very crucial missing here. And the missing pieces are the way the various sections of all of these stories, our story, fit together. In the journey of finding yourself, you go through each section, understanding each section to however the extent you can, as much as you can, and then you go back and forth, bounce here and there into understanding it, or you get comfortable in one of them and you stay there. Because I'm sure that many of the people in the so-called New Age community have looked at some of the conspiracy stuff that exists out there, and they have chosen not to go in there. That's what I did when I was in the New Age, and I was like, oh, New Age is it feels better. It's because you, like I said in the last video, you've been fed like dog food for the entire life. When somebody approaches you with some unicorn shit that's covered with sprinkles and fairy dust, you're like, man, this is a good unicorn shit cupcake. I like that fairy dust on there. That's delicious. And you're like, wait a second. Are we really eating unicorn turds? Like, yep. Ah, fuck. Fell into another section of reality. And you can doctor those turd cupcakes up all you want. But if you're not looking at and understanding and overstanding the rest of the world and just focusing only on your consumption, then you're going to be missing part of your reality. And how all of these sections fit together, like I said in the last video, the two-thirds reality within excuse me, in the new age, identity is focusing on the infinite space, the ocean of consciousness that is the infinity of, like, for example, your subconscious dream space. It's just pure experience that we are all connected to and a manifestation of and swimming in. The other infinity that exists is the everlasting moment that exists within time. So you're sitting in meditation and you're in that infinite space outside of time. It's a little bit different than the ocean of for example purposes, the ocean of infinity, because you are experiencing it from somewhat more of a conscious reality. Like, you are still, like, when you're asleep and you're swimming in your dreams, that's one version of infinity. When you are awake and in meditation, there's something different there. There's a relationship that's different there. But you yourself are experiencing some version of infinity. So it's that focus, that moment. There's energy there. There's a purpose there. The same goes for tapping into, like, hallucinogenics. So, like, when you go into, like, a mushroom trip or ayahuasca, or you go into those relationships, you are swimming in another version of that infinity. It's kind of like a marriage between the everlasting moment of meditation and that subconscious ocean of infinity. And you can swim in that space because you're still somewhat conscious, but you're also very aware of that, the wonder, the beauty of that ocean. So you're swimming around in that, but you are still in body. Like in ayahuasca, you can go in and out. You're still, like, in body, you're aware. So this is what the plant medicine can help you do. At the same time, for example purposes, you still have the time reel that exists, your body in this world, the storyline of this world, which is the collection of those everlasting moments in the collective reel, connected to everybody else, which the New Age movement just balls up into this idea of oneness, but really doesn't. It's oneness with an asterisk from the New Age perspective. It just says one, we're all one, except for those people who are very dense. Those people, those are like, they're not really one. They haven't understood the glory of unicorn turd cupcakes. It's a whole, it's a, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, I just wanted to kind of expand in a quick video and kind of narrow that perspective down to how everybody is compartmentalized and sectioned off into a version of reality that is ultimately not their own. Like how you get watered down as an individual, as a persona, as a character, as your soul fire, that gets watered down in the public education system. Everybody gets turned into this one version of reality called a student, called an inmate, pretty much, a slave, an indoctrinated conformist to this system. And then you graduate. Yeah, you graduate. Now you can be a functional conformist. Go get some money for us. That's what the whole birth certificate program is. And the bigger that the system is, the more believable it is. So they create these giant programs like the university system, the White House, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex, CERN, as the NASA program, the Globe model. They create all these to cover every base that you might find a way out of their program with. So the Mandela effect manifests into our reality, and all these people are finding out all this information and looking into consciousness and tapping into their memory, to understanding more of their everything, how this reality is pieced together. And then you have the program, the basically the NASA program, who says, it's just that we did it. You guys didn't do anything. This is not anything that the collective consciousness is doing, or that your memory. It's us, CERN. We have the power. We have the power to change reality. That's what this system is based on. Illusions. NASA. We have the power to go to the moon. So you should be scared of us. We should be the innovators of the world, the leaders of the industrial age technology. Look, we made the phone, the iPhone, and all this other shit. It just keeps going on and on and on. The illusion just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And they keep feeding you doggy biscuits that are coated in fake gold. And you're like, man, this is some gold shit. Look at this. Look at all this gold I got. You got doggy biscuits covered in fake gold in your bank account. Man, look at all this gold. How much gold you got? Oh, I got a lot of gold, man. Like, yeah. You look, you can eat it. It's a fucking doggy biscuit covered in fake gold. And once you start getting into the real gold spaces, like speaking in reference to your spirit and your soul, and start to understanding that place, that's when it starts to get more complex. And this is where the new age kind of lives, and this is why I kind of harp so much on it, on that perspective, because I really do think it's like the most fucked up thing that you could do is to like profit off of the people's like journey, in a sense, without expanding the entire, like expanding as much as you can the storyline, for not only for your benefit, but for the like other people not to be falling into these traps, like falling into other gaps that they have manifested into their reality, because they just think that's it, like that's all. Like there's something very devastating to looking at the world with only love and light blinders. There's something very wrong with that. It's very yes, there's something very, very wrong with that. And individuals have made a business out of this. And you're missing, those individuals are missing a large part of the reality. Like I said in the last video, not to weigh you down. See, that's the victim program. It's like, oh, I can't look at that stuff. It's just not, it's no. You can empower yourself to be aware of that information in that world, even more so by going into the depths of the true our story, not the history. See, the new age is based upon, the new age idea is based upon the idea of history, not the understanding of our story. See, our story, when you go into the depths of it, starts to tap back into the spirit and the soul when you go into the alchemist golden ages of the Gnostics and the ancient Egyptians, the Cometians, and the relationships between the Inca, the Olmecs, the Aztecs, and Egypt, and Cambodia, and all of the spiritual relationships across the earth plane, including the earth plane itself. That's an actual essence that is the organic essence of what the Monsanto essence, the genetically modified seeds. It's the organic seeds that have been planted by our ancestors, as opposed to the Monsanto seeds that are being planted by the political scene and the new age scene. It's just dressing up a genetically modified seed in an organic husk, pretty much. And then people are like, man, this is delicious. It's just like painting that doggy biscuit, doggy biscuit with fake gold, painting like silver, actual silver, over the fake gold doggy biscuit. That's what the new age is. And people are just licking that silver crust, never biting into it because they don't want to lose. They don't want to move to the next layer of whatever that is by, yeah. Anyway, you see where I'm coming from when I like kind of paint it like that. So, I just wanted to share like the example of how the program does the same thing. Like the glorification, making superheroes for you with movies like the Snowden movie and the Wikileaks with Julian Assange. He's now a superhero because the bad guy, the villain of Hillary Clinton, is like running for president. So this is the movie reel that gets played for you in order to suck you into the movie itself. It's the movie within the movie. It's like the genetically modified popcorn of the genetically modified movie. So you're eating the WikiLeaks popcorn and the Edward Snowden popcorn in your body. It's becoming your body, and now you are so focused on how delicious this popcorn is and hopeful it's making you you're not hungry anymore. And you're now also distracted. You're genetically modified, not hungry, and you're distracted by the genetically modified movie reel. So these are all like layers and layers of separation, like compartmentalization within pockets of compartmentalization overall. And you believe it because you choose your reality. You choose what it is that you believe. Like these are your belief systems. Like the Republicans, like that Republican father and that Democratic mother, they believe that that's their reality, and then their kids will believe. So you believe it, as opposed to going into the depths of the connections to your ancestors and all of the planes of existence all together. That's going into a knowingness, a soul knowingness that it's beyond any kind of limitations or constraints. It's forever growing. It'll forever be expanding. Because you'll never, like I said in a previous video, you're not going to get it. There's nothing to get. You are here specifically on a journey of your own to expand. And then when that expansion point is made, then you will be birthed into the next experience, whatever that is. We see it here as a death, but that's the fear program and the separation program. To understanding that you are not the body, your soul will forever live, so you will just transition. So you will basically just have another birth. So you're birthed into the experience. Dying is just another birth into another experience. To keep you from realizing that space and to profit off of your ignorance, to profit off of your separation, the gaps within your reality, so synthetic plugs can be filled into your gaps that have been formalized by the system itself. We have all these other systems: Snowden, WikiLeaks, NASA, the Disclosure Program, the Alien Agenda, the Cabal, the David Icke and reptilians. All this stuff fits into the storyline in some kind of way. It's all part of the storyline itself, but when you consume it as the only thing, it's like I said in the previous video, eating only a mayonnaise sandwich. Like if you suck yourself into one version of reality, then you're basically only eating that mayonnaise sandwich for reality forever. And eventually, if you stay in there, whatever you're eating, it might taste like the most diverse, wonderful meal that you've ever eaten in the beginning, but if you stay in there, if you stay in that box, that whole meal will turn into a mayonnaise sandwich over time, because you are not meant to be stagnant. You are meant to expand. And when these limitation programs are meant to confine you into a stagnant world by means of profit. Obviously, with the Democrats and Republicans, it's about power. Same goes for even the so-called conspiracies with WikiLeaks and Edward Snowden. It's still in a world of giving your power away to the system. It's not coming from a perspective of an empowered collective by tapping into the connections that predate the so-called powers that be infrastructure itself. It still exists in asking your enslavers to give you freedom, which is an impossibility. The same thing goes for Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matters to who? It's like you are, the other side of that is to understand that you are an empowered soul essence, people connected to golden ages by you are the manifestation of the ancestors that were existing as that golden age over generations upon generations upon generations. That even understanding that on any kind of basic level will remove the grips of this manipulative illusion of the so-called powers that be. So this is just an extension of the movie, the WikiLeaks and the Snowden, to make you believe in it, and they got to build it up. These two have done more for the American people than all U.S. politicians in the past 25 years combined. So, like, you're like, oh, this is a free thought project? Yeah, like, yeah, I believe that's true, you know? That's true. So it's true on a certain level, just like the New Age is true up to a certain level. This is why so many people can believe it as their reality, the end all be all of their reality. It's only love and light, that's it. Give it up. If you're not part of the New Age program, then you're just a sinner. Like, basically, that's like what the church does. If you don't go to church on Sunday, you're just a sinner. Like, there's something wrong with you for not being love and light. You are just dense. Like, you're just part of some old paradigm. So this is what this system is based on. Like, oh, there's other programs that are part of this, and in fact, your entire new world, your new age will change as the story reel continues to go. As more people continue to connect with their ancestors, more people are starting to see how these stories interconnect. Then they're starting to see the limitations and the confines of these boxes. And it's about keeping information from you. So the 2/3 reality of the New Age world keeps itself up by demonizing the so-called old age, which is not the cabal and the military-industrial complex. It's not. It's the essence of the material realm, which the ancestors, the ancient alchemists, were tapping into. They were understanding the relationship between this realm and spirit, and the reasons why we are here. That whole relationship, they were understanding that. But in order to maintain the pillars that hold up the foundation to the New Age environment, they have to have a focus. And they say, well, this is new because old is, politicians, and old is the religion and the Bible and the church and all that other stuff. That's old. We're new. We're the actual spirit. We take the best out of the old and make it new. Like we're the soul essence of like so they have to have a bad guy. So the bad guy for the new age is obviously that version of reality is the old age, or the what they're calling the. So the baby that gets thrown out with the bathwater of the old age are the ancestors, like that. Those connections, those understandings, and that's the essence of this entire reality. So, and that's the intent of this program itself. That's why it exists. To have people floating in limbo. So when the program that the shepherds of this manipulative program activate, people who are just floating in limbo will grab on to the most comfortable thing that they see around them. Same way I did when I was floating in nothingness, asking myself, what is the spirit? What is soul? Having no like religion and being open to understanding a deeper relationship with myself. The new age was right there. Oh, sacred geometry. Oh, this and that. And like all this stuff has a meaning and connection to the ancient, the ancestors. But since it's new, it's like, oh man, this is great. I love this doggy biscuit with gold, fake gold on it. And at that time you just see you haven't bitten into that doggy biscuit yet. You just see a golden something. And the closer you get to that, then you start tasting it. Like, wait a second, this is fake gold. You look at it and you're like, this is fake gold. And then you bite into it and you're like, man, this is a fucking doggy biscuit. Man, fuck this. And then if you stay in there, you start silver plating that fake gold plated doggy biscuit. And then you eat that. And you can live off of that. It's a hell of a lot more delicious than dry dog food in a bowl of leftovers. And this system is based upon brokenness, people being broken and adolescent, childlike, taking the beauty of the inner child and the collective inner child and feeding it Christmas toys and Thanksgiving dinners and Easter baskets and bunnies and chocolate eggs and toys, transhumanism toys, transhumanism education, to buy into an artificial reality to produce batteries or robots that won't produce organic seeds. And the social media, the demonizing of, or the beating down of the divine feminine, and the turning men into women and women into men, that's all part of the program too. All these agendas interweave, are interwoven to create distraction on every level, to create this kind of like vacuum where people who are just floating in nothingness get sucked into whatever they are open to vibrating with on a little bit, because they have nothing. They're just floating in nothing, in a vacuum of nothing. And they'll just grab onto anything out there that's floating around. That's what kids do. Kids just follow the next older person. They're just like, oh, what is this? What is that? Oh, you do that? Oh, wow. Oh, you can do that? I can do that too. I could be an astronaut? What? Yes. Yes, son. You, American you, can be an astronaut. Really? I can go to Mars? You bet your fucking ass you can go to Mars, kid. You can do it. Just 12 more years to go in public education school. And then 10 more years in the university system. And then you maybe, if you are black or brown, you probably won't have that possibility, but that won't stop you from striving to be, because one person has made it. Obviously, we have a black president. So, keep your hopes up, son. You can kinda maybe possibly do it. Wow. I didn't know I could kinda maybe possibly do it. And then that kid tells his other friend, hey, other brown kid friend, did you know that you could kinda maybe possibly be an astronaut when you grow up? No, I didn't know that. These are these fake gold-plated doggy biscuits. And if you're a so-called minority or not, or a melanated individual, you don't even get fake gold-plated on your doggy biscuit. You just get doggy biscuits. It's like, eat this shit. It's a doggy biscuit. That's the American dream for a so-called minority. It's just a doggy biscuit. You're not eating dry dog food out of a bowl anymore. You can now eat a treat. But the fake gold one, you can't even achieve that shit, because the system itself is designed, that separation is inherent. Yeah, and this new world or new age, you're constantly living and dying, in a sense. Like you're constantly, at each time you go to another level, you are learning more about yourself, the previous self, which you are not anymore. Like you are now a new energy, and that's scary for a lot of people. They don't want to let that go, especially in the new age love and light. It's like, if I let go of love and light, then what will I have? Hatred and fear, and they don't, there's no power there. It's just like, I can't let go of this love and light flag. If I do, then I'll be attacked by hatred and low vibrations, and people won't like me anymore because I won't be nice. They won't think I'm nice. Like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? You created that whole fucking world. So, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say in reference to this. To expand on the last video and connect it to all the other limitation programs. But yeah, you will miss, like, you will miss your friends. You can miss your old life. You can miss all that, but it's a vibration that is not of your highest anymore. Like, you are constantly expanding, and by you holding that space, not only for yourself, you're doing it for the people around you, and zoomed all the way out, you're holding that space for the entire collective at the same time, because somebody's got to do it. Somebody got to step up and do that. Otherwise, stagnant, like festering energies will happen, and growth won't. It won't continue. People just get comfortable and locked into another slave program, whether it be dressed in fake gold or dressed in black robes. Either way, it's not your maximum potential. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share in this video. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.